Oh, hi! This week we're gonna do, finally, a Rocky Horror Picture Show costume. If you have a real one or a prop one or anything that resembles a white pearl necklace, cool. I don't, so I strung all of these little wooden balls onto a string and I'm gonna paint them white. So I'm gonna do that before I do anything else so that they will dry by the time the project's done. So I'll be back in a minute. Since I'll be listing other supplies after the jump cut, here's what you need. Props to my friend Chris Dreyer for giving me a can of Hetty Topper for being sick or something, or just because he's super nice. Alright, so the main thing you're gonna need for Dr. Frank-n-Furter's outfit is some type of material that is this color. Oh, that's a look. Not turning into riffraff. Jesus. Just kind of like a seafoam green color. So it's not really stretchy, but it doesn't really need to be because we're basically making an apron. So fitting shouldn't be too much of an issue. You can wing this by just laying on top of your fabric and either tracing it yourself or having someone help trace around your arms and your sides. Or you could do like I'm going to do and use some pattern pieces that I traced off of an old hoodie. You could use a shirt that has long sleeves. For his cuff things, I have this really sparkly shirt. God knows where this came from. You need some kind of pink material. And as I mentioned before, I painted a bunch of wooden beads white so I can string them together to make some kind of makeshift pearl necklace. And there's all the makeup, which may be a different tutorial. Also need scissors, pins, sewing machine, matching thread, and probably some paperweights if you're going to be using pattern pieces. Cut some fabric! One note to make, no matter how you're going about this, is my front piece is going to be all one piece, and my back piece is going to be two halves because it's open down the middle. But one other thing you're going to need to do for both the front and back pieces is lengthen them because this is going to be like knee length. So just add however many inches you need to make it to your knees. That got weirdly inappropriate. As you can see by the unnecessary number of pieces to this, I picked maybe the most complicated way to assemble an apron. So I'm not going to show you how I did it because any way you find to do it will be easier. You can use my Hogwarts robes tutorial as a reference. I couldn't have made this more difficult for myself. Once you get the basic shape, these are like half sleeves going on and the entire back is open. So other than the one part I did forget, which is take some red paint, or you can stitch some red fabric on and make a little red triangle right around here. But the next step is take your open back. We're gonna decide where to put some of the ties to tie it shut. So there's one right at the top of his neck. Then it looks like there's 3 or 4 more going all the way down. I'm going to measure out each tie to be about 10 inches, I guess. That seems like a decent length. You're going to need 2 ties for each spot, so there will be one on each side. This frays like a motherfucker, so I am going to double the width of the tie that I want. Got a little seam allowance. Then I'm going to cut 8 matching pieces out. Now that I've got all my strips cut out, I'm going to fold them in half the long way, 8 sides together, and do a straight stitch all along those raw edges. Leave the ends open and do that on all of them. Every last one of them. Once these were all stitched, I flipped all of them right sides out. Skip that part because it takes forever and is very frustrating. So good luck to you. Next, I measured out about 8 inches in between each of these flaps and just attached them with these cool craft clips I got from Evergreen Art Supply. This is the first project I've really used them on and I really like using them. Because doing the hems for my entire smock, I used the mini clips and I didn't have to use pins at all and it was great. Very fast, I think. Not Spawn, just a good company. Anyways, so I have my 4 on this side clamped down. I'm going to attach the other 4 mirroring where these ones are positioned and then do a little bit of stitching. You can do a little X, you can just do some zigzag stitching, whatever you think will hold it on well. Okay, we did it. If you can even see what's happening. I'll see if I can actually dress myself. Oh, also my red triangle is dry. Cool. So my balls have dried. So gonna add this guy. Fortunately, this costume doesn't come with a good singing voice. So fuck that first pink fabric that I found. I have an old t-shirt scrap that is stretching material. So I folded this into 4 different layers. I'm basically just gonna draw around it, hand turkey style. And that's what my ham fist looks like. And cut with a little bit of seam allowance around the outside. Once you have these nightmare things pinned together, go ahead and do a zigzag stitch with the right sides together around all of them and go slow because the fingers are pointy and round. Alright, looks less weird now that's knit together. Looks like a mitten, glove. Mittens don't have finger holes. Now it's time to flip everything right side out. Side note, I'm sure you can just get pink dish gloves at the fucking dollar store and avoid all of this. Let's see how this fits. Oh no. It's weird and a little web-fingered, but for a first try ever making gloves, I'm gonna take it. Lastly is his little fingerless glove cuff things. Those of you that don't have a perfectly length shirt to work with, any silver fabric you can just turn into a tube, and we can meet up after this jump cut. So I laid my hand down and marked pins where all of my finger gaps are, and especially two where my thumb and forefinger go. And then I did a bunch of V-shaped stitching. So I'm going to cut out this space in between each of these, so it'll give me some flexibility with my hands. Next, I just very carefully snipped between the stitches, making sure I didn't hit any of them. Right sides out, and try this shit on. You guys, oh shit, this came out perfect. We're there. I think the costume's done. You guys, I had no idea it would come out this well, and I am so excited. Thrifty Halloween costumes for the win.